I'm a Marist boy. Marist and St. Felix.
The term Koroipita is a direct translation to Peter's Village. Meet Peter Drysdale, the founder of Koroipita Housing Community. Our episode tonight features a tour of the fully serviced township community and a little history about what they do. Koroipita is the first of what could potentially be a series of model communities in Fiji to address the problems of squatter settlements in peri-urban areas, manage urban drift, and accommodate and assimilate climate change refugees. The Trust is an NGO committed to building engineered and serviced subdivisions and cyclone-safe houses and provide guidance and support for the advancement of poor families by way of a holistic and dynamic community development program. The project was founded by Peter Drysdale in 1985. Prior to registration of the MTCT, the project had been operating as the Fiji Rota Homes Project under the Rotary Club of Lautoka. Peter had just joined the Rotary Club of Lautoka and he formed the Fiji Rota Homes Project with the objective to eliminate subhuman living conditions in West Viti Levu by providing basic cyclone-safe homes, clean water, and living essentials. This led to the development of an engineered and serviced subdivision 3 kilometers from Lautoka. It was named Koroipita, which means Peter's Village. Land was provided on a 99-year lease term by the landowners of Vitongo Village. Peter Drysdale is one of the pioneers of the Fiji pine industry, having spent the last 30 years of his career in logistics and the last 35 years running the Fiji Rota Homes Project, now known as the Model Towns Charitable Trust. Koroipita is the first of what they hope to be several model towns in the near future, with a specific objective of helping to manage rural-urban drift. He believes that model towns like Koroipita are perfect for future resettlement of climate change refugees.
The initial selection of families based on what we call red zone families. These are families at the very lowest end of the income scale. They are particularly disadvantaged, single mums with lots of children, incapacitated, mentally disabled, elderly, and so we've got them all here, and it's a refuge. So in addition, the model town, Koroipita, is not a comfort zone where families come in and stay here for generations. In fact, right up front, I'm going to give you a startling statistic. We have processed through this town an entire second generation. 720 young people have moved through our system from kindergarten through, in many cases, onto tertiary education, outward and upward into mainstream society. This is a staggering achievement. And it continues to move young people outward and upward. Some of the older people die here, of course, but the second generation, without exception, is moving outward and upward into good marriages, good jobs, good prospects.
The town is a fully serviced subdivision with wide road access, clean water supply, electricity, sewage treatment, stormwater drains, and a garbage collection system. Today, Susan Naidu, Koroipita's Assistant General Manager of Community Development, is taking us on a tour of the community, starting with the Light Industrial Park.
So this is our Light Industrial Park building. We run small cottage industry businesses in this. So the first one we have here is the computer school. And we have terminals with internet connection, and here we have the ladies who are actually doing training at Almana Training Center, and they come here, they attend the computer training course during the day, and in the afternoons they come here and practice their computing skills. So we have Evelyn here, who is also the computer school supervisor. Evelyn lives here, and she supervises the evening sessions with the university and school students who come here to do their homework and assignments.
My name is Rachel, and I'm 32 years old, and I'm so glad that I live in Koroipita, that I have grabbed this opportunity to go and learn computer at Almana. Thank you for the Koroipita Community Hall and all the workers here for supporting all the ladies who are uneducated, for helping us knowing about computer, because in nowadays, if we are not knowing computer, we are left behind. Thank you very much.
Over here we have the boutique factory. So we have ladies who come here and make garments and eco bags. So what we do is we actually go and collect off-cut fabrics from the local garment factories, and we bring them here in the trucks, and then the ladies make these beautiful eco bags, so from recycled fabric, and then we sell them in town, you know, to tourists, to locals, for $15 each, and you can use this for shopping. So the whole idea is to help reduce, you know, the wastage and helping the environment. And through this opportunity, the ladies also get to earn an income.
Hi, my name is Alumita. I've been in Koroipita for 9 years, and now I'm actually living with my 7 kids. This is what I do to earn income. The project has been assisting us, so this is one of it. And I do part-time work at the hall clinic.
So during the lockdown, COVID-19 lockdown, when like everyone was shutting down the operations, we kind of had the ladies continue making some of these garments, and they, you know, they're selling it to the local people, and they continue to earn an income because otherwise they don't have any other source of income. And like Alumita said, you know, she's a single mom and she has to feed 7 children, and this is her primary source of income.
The eco bags and other products like honey are available for the public to purchase and help support the women. You can contact the Koroipita office directly or visit their Facebook page or website to find out more.
So this is a workshop. This is where they build the shutters, the doors, and cut the steel to fabrication to build the houses in Koroipita. This is our newly designed seedling nursery. So we actually encourage the residents to grow their own food. And so for someone who wants to raise and sell seedlings, this is something they can use. And if the person moves on, you know, we can easily move this to a new house. So this is one of the prototypes. Hola guys.
Hola, hola.
This is the recycling shed. So we practice waste management here in Koroipita. So every household must separate the green waste, which goes into the compost, and then the recyclables like PET bottles, cardboards, they are collected by the Green Scouts, young boys, you know, between the age of 10 and 15. They bring it here once a week, and then they separate all the recyclables, and then we take it down to the waste recyclers. So we ensure that, you know, people are practicing really good waste management standards. Over here is our waste garbage collection system. We call this the Johnny Mela bin. And people dispose after separating their recyclables. They come here and they dispose their waste. And then it gets taken down to the Bonato rubbish dump. So we have families who are also doing they grow boy and they do mat making and the masi making. We have extinguishers in every 10 houses, you know, for fire safety. And over here, this is our compost. So all the green waste, all the scraps from the kitchen comes in here, and then once the compost is ready, it goes into the garden. So you can see this person's garden is really productive. He's growing a variety of things, and whatever excess they have, excess produce, they then sell it off to like people in Koroipita or people outside here. So it helps them earn a bit of income for their household.
Coming up next, we visit the Koroipita Health Clinic and learn more about the cyclone-safe housing structures.
Are in charge of community development, and we look after the welfare and the development of people in the community. So when we bring them to Koroipita, it's a totally new environment, totally new lifestyle. So we ensure that they become integrated into the community, and we, through the rules and our advancement plan, we ensure that the whole community is living in harmony and there's peace, there's no criminal activity, and people are being productive, they are growing and they're upskilling to a point where they're able to move out of the Koroipita family and then start something of their own.
Yeah.
So by the time they sort of graduate from Koroipita, they've acquired all these different life skills that are really important, for them to be good citizens of any country or any society.
Yeah.
This is just a model of the Koroipita model house. You can see the living room here, which is 2 rooms, like 2 bedrooms with a dividing wall. And then you've got this breezeway where the breeze blows, and separating the toilet, shower and kitchen unit. And that just shows the level of the framing, which is very strong. This is all set on 25 MPa concrete.
Wow.
Very strong. And you can see the framing and the amount of strapping. If you can see up here, every connection is strapped, steel strapped. In one house, there is 1,400 roof and wall screws, in addition to 29 kilograms of 4-inch nails. So, in addition, there is 380 lineal meters of steel strapping that goes into one of these houses.
Wow.
But we build that, despite all these connections and everything, we build one of these at the rate of 1 house every 8 working days. Yeah. And there's never any damage. Now, the other reason for separating the toilet, shower and kitchen from the living room, they spend a lot of time in the breezeway because it is breezy. And also the smoke, the smell, the water, and the fire. So if there's an outbreak of fire in the kitchen, you've got a chance of saving the family and even saving the structure, the building. Yeah. We have a network of fire hose reel stations that tap into the mains with high pressure. And so, we're pretty well, I would say, fireproof.
Yeah.
In addition to these other features. Yeah. So you have a foundation team, followed by a framing team, followed by a cladding team, followed by a plumbing team, and those teams just roll down the valley.
And aside from the standard structures, some houses are modified to become more accessible for Koroipita residents who are disabled, single mothers and women.
So, and above all here, it is a managed subdivision. And I'm very pleased to see that government in that budget is allowing incentives for people to create more subdivisions for both residential and industrial. Because about 10, 15 years ago, such subdivisions seemed to have died because there were too many cheap shortcut alternatives. But now I think there's going to be a focus on insisting on properly designed service subdivisions, which our towns are. We provide safe housing, cyclone-safe housing. Witness TC Winston, 0 damage at Koroipita. In fact, there's been in the 20 years we've been here building this town, we've had 0 damage in all hurricanes. Secondly is the advancement of families. The advancement is critical. In fact, under our rules, when you sign the tenancy agreement, you abide by the rules. And one of the critical rules is that you must advance your family. If your family is not advancing, you are leaving.
With a fully serviced township community provided for these families, it's no surprise that the requirements for their advancement is adhered to. Another service offered at Koroipita is the town nursing station.
This is our health clinic. And we have our village health worker here, Lydia. So she's been trained by Ministry of Health, and she's been working with us for the past 6 years. And she does checkups, for people who have high blood pressure, diabetes, and people living with disability. She takes them to the hospital for their regular clinics. We also organize a lot of mother and baby clinics here, pap smear screening, and we work with the Ministry of Health, the doctors and the nurses to run a lot of these health-based programs in Koroipita. So, our goal is to eliminate NCDs in Koroipita. So while we have this, we also encourage the residents to play sports, eat healthy, so you can see that in the garden, and basically taking up a much more healthier lifestyle.
My team and I were already blown away with everything Susan had shown us, but one thing that caught our attention immediately were these fun street names.
So we have street names here. Kiwi Boulevard. This is Kiwi Boulevard because the project was funded by the New Zealand Aid Program. We have a multi-purpose sports court, and we get the residents to organize tournaments. So we have volleyball, netball, and recently the Fiji Tennis Association, they've started running training for the ladies. So they come here in the morning, they learn how to play tennis, and in the afternoon we have the children who come here and learn tennis every Monday. And so this is all part of our health promotion. We want people to live a healthy lifestyle, prevent NCDs. So this is what the multi-purpose court is for. And over there, that's our herb nursery, which is operated by one of the guys who lives up there. That's his source of income. So he grows his fresh produce and he sells it to the local market, and that's his income generation.
So that's all just for him?
Just for him, for his family.
Evening was fast approaching, and so we were almost at wrap-up time for the day, but not before visiting the incredible papaya and citrus orchard. That's coming up right after this break. The Koroipita Model Townhouse community in Lautoka currently has 263 houses with a population of approximately 1,100 residents. Food security is one of their key programs to ensure families who need extra help are looked after.
We have the sewerage system, which is divided into chambers, and what gets out of there is the black water. And then the black water comes into trenches. So that's what you see here, underground, like 600 millimeters deep trenches. And on top we are growing papaya to help absorb all the effluent. And so all the waste in Koroipita turns into food.
Yeah.
And so this papaya project is in partnership with Nature's Way cooperative.
Yeah.
And we're trialing it. We actually wanted to grow it for export purpose, but because of the 2 cyclones and the current problems that we're facing, we haven't been able to do that. However, this plantation is feeding the families here in Koroipita.
That's awesome, man. And this is the Fiji red papaya, right?
Yes.
Wow. We spoke about it quite heavily on one of our episodes about the Fiji red and how, they're trying to keep the purity of it and stuff.
Yes.
This is really nice.
So the whole, from seedlings, we've got one of the residents who knew how to raise seedlings.
Yeah.
We got him to grow it, and then we brought it here, and one of the guys who also works for the project, he tends to all the garden and the landscaping, so he maintains this area. So once a week we come out here, we harvest the papaya, and we give it out to the families who need help with the food.
Yeah.
This is all part of the big food security program. And over there at the back, we have the citrus orchard.
Right.
So we're also growing a lot of varieties of citrus because, you know, vitamin C. So this is the citrus orchard. And so you can see varieties of citrus here. There is eucalyptus too.
Yeah.
So we're growing eucalyptus for two purposes. One is for firewood, and then the flowers from the eucalyptus helps to feed the bees. We have our own bee boxes, and we make honey, and we sell them. So we purest honey in Fiji, perhaps. And and we've got a coconut plantation there. So all of this. So we don't leave any vacant lot in Koroipita. We try to utilize every vacant lot to ensure that it is productive, it is giving back something either to the people or to the any living thing around here.
Wow, that's nice. Oh, I see the bees. How many beehives do you have?
We have, I think, 12 sets of hives.
12 sets
Yeah.
of hives.
And we have our own residents who have been trained from scratch to do beekeeping. So they tend to it. They have mastered the skill of beekeeping, and mainly women.
Wow.
And so during the harvest season, they harvest, they bottle, we package, and we sell it to the local people in the cafes and whoever wants it. Over there in the corner, we call that the botanical zone. So we're trying to grow like varieties of local plants, local crops, or whatever you want to call it, for education purpose. Because what we're seeing is that a lot of children are not learning these things in school, or they're losing touch with their traditional, roots.
Yeah.
So we want to create like an eco zone where we can take the children and show them, look, this is this plant, this is what this does, medicinal plant, or whatever, for whatever purpose it serves. So that's the botanical area. And you can also see the eucalyptus trees being grown for firewood and maybe timber. And the flowers, of course, feed the bees. So this is another smaller sewerage system here. This is recently built, and you can see the absorption trenches. We haven't planted anything yet because, like I said, it was recently constructed. And we will eventually grow more food on top of that. So the roots will go down, and then it'll help, transpire the water, the effluent. So nothing will go in the water table.
Wow.
And that also is a buffer zone, so we're growing citrus and breadfruit and coconut.
As the sun set, the first of our 2-day visit had come to an end. We hope you enjoyed tonight's tour of the incredible Koroipita facility. To find out more about the FO4ACP project, log on to www.pacificfarmers.com. Next week, we dive deeper into their income-generating projects involving orchids and market produce. We'll see you next week.